Dig it.
To save your job, would you rather have to tackle Derrick Henry or guard Shai Gilgeous-Alexander one-on-one?
I would do both if I could. You know what I mean? If I could, I'd do both without even worrying about if I'd lose my job or keep my job. I would love to have the opportunity to hit Derrick Henry. That would be wonderful. I mean, you know, I never met a man I couldn't take down. And SGA, I would love to guard him. I would love to guard him because I would hack the hell out of him.
Yeah, and you know he's going to really sell the foul to make you look dominant because that's what he does.
He can sell the foul. Yeah. I don't care. I'm going to hack him bad. Like, I'm going to get like 4 out of you get 6 fouls in the league.
Yeah.
I'm going to get 4 out of the 6 fouls on one play. Nice. On one play.
Yeah, I'll go SGA.
They're going to be like, like dang.
I'll go SGA as well too. I don't want to tackle Derrick Henry. I'm good. Like, I don't want to get turned into a Pez dispenser because Derrick Henry's got a red ass about something. Some take I had about the Titans years ago. I don't want to deal with that. What else?
I would love to hit him. I love to feel that.
Big name players.
Contact.
Big name players who might be on the move this offseason. Would you rather get Giannis or KD?
Giannis.
I
love KD to death. It's not because I wouldn't want KD, but I just feel like, you know, he's getting up there. It's like more. Is it safe to say you feel like with a Giannis, his better days may still be ahead of him, right, while KD's better days are, would we say, most certainly behind him?
Yeah, but I don't know that Giannis is. I think he's past his. I mean, he's still a great player, but I don't.
His best days are behind him too.
Yeah, I think so.
Dang. I don't think so.
But
I'm not going to go with that one. And if so, I would be more willing to find out that Giannis's better days are behind him rather than trying to.
That's fair.
To know that KD's probably are.
That's fair. What a weird career KD's had, though. If you think about it, talk about like an all-time great player who just, I just want to rent. I don't really want to own anywhere. I just want to rent. After
Nothing
OKC,
wrong with that either. By the way, you know,
it
all depends on what your thoughts are. Anyway,
guys,
any more?
Inspired by the local news, would you rather lose an eye or one of the family jewels?
Oh, it's family jewels. Because you still can produce with that one. That I'd rather have both my eyes to be able to see.
Yeah, but only having one eye would make watching the WNBA.
Hell, I got all my kids. I got all the kids I want. You could tab both of them, to be honest.
Yeah,
oh snap!
Kubota Orange Days delivers the savings you need for the life you love. Shop a wide selection of equipment at your local dealer, including America's #1 selling compact tractor. And get your perfect match delivered to your door. Designed for comfort and built for performance. Now through June 30th, get 0 down, 0% APR for 84 months or up to $3,000 off select compact tractors. Sales ending soon. See the details at KubotaOrangeDays.com.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The JV and Sandy Show podcast. Stream it on the iHeartRadio app.
Well, good news. That accident did clear out 35 northbound at William Cannon Drive, still causing about a 10-minute delay. Stop and go traffic all the way back to 45 Toll Road right there. We do have a disabled vehicle blocking the right shoulder, 35 southbound at McCarty Lane. I'm Alan Craig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Bosch. With the Bosch 18-volt glide miter saw, you'll feel like the smoothest cat on this side of Smoothville. Meow. And when you make cuts this smooth, get the Bosch 18-volt glide miter saw. The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a Bosch.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 Pro on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16 Pro. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Hand sanitizer. It's lavender.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check this pocket. Oh, mints?
Really, I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins. I'm a mom. Wait one sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
It's our best iPhone offer ever. Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line, $100 plus a month on experience beyond finance agreement, $999.99 and qualifying forwarded. For well qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Pay off via virtual prepaid card below 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
Hey, if you're listening to me right now, I have one thing every business needs most: attention. Think about it. We swipe and scroll past stuff all day. But when we're driving, cooking, and working out, we're also listening. That's the magic of audio at iHeart. We're in your next customer's ears while they're living life and listening, just like you are right now. So get your customers to listen up today using radio, digital, and podcasts. Visit iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights, at home or at work. We'll make your happy place your own. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Progressive knows road trips without your pet can be tough.
Hi, this is Next Stop Dog Boarding.
Hi, it's Scott again. How's Squeaks doing? You can tell if he's stressed by his eyebrows. Oh, and his breathing should sound like this.
Scott, Squeaks is exactly the same as last time you called.
Okay, let's talk in 20 to see if anything's changed.
With Progressive, your pet is covered up to $1,000 in vet bills in case of a car accident. So next time, you can take your pet with you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Coverage for dogs and cats is included with the purchase of collision coverage and subject to policy terms.
Get the Apple Leasing Advantage today. Visit appleleasing.com. That's appleleasing.com.
Put your phone on D&D. That means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always sing with me. So put your phone on D&D. That means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always remember this beat.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by iHeartRadio, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin. Your home for the Horn. Make us the #1 preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
The morning kickoff. The morning kickoff.
It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Hardge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry, on your home for the Horns, 1300 The Zone.
Good morning, Austin, K-Town, Pflugerville, H-Town, Pearland, El Paso, Leander, and Siddlesby, Texas, or wherever you may be listening. This is a Texas Tuesday edition of the Morning Kickoff on AM 1300, The Zone. The College World Series had some magic and some rain. Shohei makes his return to the mound. Joe Cook of Inside Texas joins us at 7:34. OKC is one step closer to the crown. Kev Ciardello will be joining us to talk Texas State and the Pac-12 at 8 o'clock, and Texas football's playoff chances that only those who believe in it understand. I am your host, Mike Hardball Hardge. My co-host is a WWE Hall of Famer and recognized as the world's strongest man. He is the Mark Henry.
Good morning, Austin.
And, of course, we've got our guy Marcus behind the boards. And if you want to be a part of the show, all you have to do is text the word Texas, followed by our message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. That's the word Texas, followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. And also, we're going to give you a chance to win a pair of tickets today to go see Lainey Wilson. That's right, Lainey Wilson will be here at the Moody Center. All you got to do is use that talkback feature on the new and improved iHeartRadio app. You know, the one that we're number one in your preset, number one in your heart. Matter of fact, why don't you preset our podcast so you can always be up to date with all the latest that we have going on this show. But right now, I want to get right into it. Mark, yesterday, there was something amazing that happened at the College World Series. And when I say amazing, I mean something that has only happened 3 times in college baseball history during the World Series. And that was a man going out there and being the most dominant person he could possibly be.
And everybody is standing at Charles Schwab Field. 1 strike from history. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wood deals. Swung on and missed. It's a no-hitter. Helfrich grabs Wood. His teammates surround him. Everybody storming out of the bullpen. The 3rd no-hitter in College World Series history is pitched by Arkansas's Gage Wood. What a moment in Omaha.
It doesn't get any better than that. Gage Wood goes out and throws almost a perfect game in the College World Series. The beautiful part about this all is they were about to be eliminated. This was an elimination game for Arkansas, who I believe was going to win the College World Series just because of the fact that their coach, Van Horn, has never won it. He's one of the greatest coaches to ever coach the game of baseball, and he has never won the College World Series. And so here they are on the verge of elimination, and you start to understand what it looks like in those moments. And for a pitcher like Gage Wood, who Texas lost to earlier in the year when they got swept by Arkansas in Arkansas.
Yeah.
He went out and secured the fact on a 3-0, almost perfect game. He threw a curveball that hit the batter in the foot, and then he threw another one later in the game that hit a batter at home plate, but they ruled him out because they said he leaned into the pitch, and it was strike 2. But not only that did he throw a no-hitter, he had 19 strikeouts. 19. And I watched every single one of those pitches. I've been a part of 2 no-hitters in my life. One, I was playing defense behind a no-hitter. And the other one, I was batting against a no-hitter being thrown against us.
So we know what happened.
Exactly. And we had opportunities. We hit the ball hard, but they had great plays behind them. I was never part of a 19 strikeout game. That could have been 20 if he didn't hit that guy with the curveball. And there's 27 outs in the ball game. Think about that. 27 outs. He struck out 13 of the first 18 batters that he faced in an elimination game. It is the first no-hitter in 65 years of the College World Series.
So he's a lock for being a top 5 pick.
No, he's not a top 5 pick, but he is a top pick. He's supposed to be in the first round. He's a first rounder.
I want one of those guys.
He's a first rounder.
When they step up in the big moment, because you know that nothing's going to rattle them.
Nope.
They're just going to get better.
Yep.
That's just the way my outlook on the whole thing. But Hardge, I'm going to tell you right now, a no-hitter haven't been done since 1960. That's good enough.
Yeah.
That's good enough. It's got to be.
I mean, that young man has come out there and put that team on his back. And the beautiful thing about it is, and for those that were watching, they truly understand, and those that have been around the game as long as I have, and some a lot longer. Jim Gideon, I believe he was the one who threw it at for the University of Texas at the World Series. I could be wrong. But anyway, you look at how this was about to happen. This young man was throwing 97 miles per hour on his 114th pitch of the game.
Hardge, you remember you talking me off the tower
about
when Texas played Arkansas? I was like, man, how they do us like that? And you said, hey, that pitcher is good.
I was like, that's one of the best teams in baseball.
You said
all around.
You said just back down, like they good.
Yep.
Like really good.
I mean, they are solid. Yes, and they could win the whole thing. And for the thought process of going into a game where you know there is no tomorrow, and them coming out of the losers bracket is something that you needed a guy like Gage to be able.
Well, he pitched like there was no tomorrow.
That's what you want. That's what you want. You want a guy like that. You want a guy that is going to save your bullpen because you got to continue to play.
Right.
You got to continue to go. You got games today that still same thing. Elimination. You got to continue to push through. So when you get a guy like that to go out there and save your bullpen for the journey that's ahead of you, that says a lot. That says a lot.
Yeah, I hope that Texas can get some guys that or develop some guys, which they feel like they have some of those guys already. But listening to Coach Schlossnagle talk about the future, he sounded very optimistic.
Well, it's interesting that you say that, Mark. Nice segue. Into that right there.
I'll try.
Texas just did get a new pitcher committed to them in a transfer portal. He's Luke Dotson, left-handed pitcher from Mississippi State. He is a hard-throwing pitcher that is needed from this transfer portal. He's done a lot for Mississippi State, and for Texas to be able to grab him in the transfer portal is something that Texas has been talking about. You pair him up with what Dylan Volantis has been able to do on that pitching staff. You've got some young guys that are coming in that are going to have an opportunity to develop as well. So this was a big-time move for Texas to go out and get a left-handed pitcher like Luke Dotson to be able to come and help Texas on the mound.
Let's go, man. Coach Schlossnagle said he needed a lefty, and he got one.
And he's been in the portal doing some amazing things already. There's a bunch of guys that are out there that have now committed to the University of Texas throughout the transfer portal. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. But they have done some amazing things and continue to find a way to now make that move. We talked about the scholarships. We'll talk to Joe Cook of Inside Texas coming up at 7:34 to talk all things Texas football, recruiting, but I'll also get at some insight to him on the baseball aspect. Joe is a great baseball mind, loves the game, and used to cover it all the time. So it is something that as a Texas baseball fan, this is where we go. This is not like they say, and we go. This is the time for Texas to go because when Schlossnagle got here last year, it was right after the College World Series, and they had just played in the game, and you didn't even know who he was going to have on his staff. He didn't know what coaching staff. He didn't know what pitchers he was going to have. He didn't know what players were going to be staying at the University of Texas. Now he has that whole season that offseason to go out and get what he's been looking for. And now we're starting to see that happen. But shout out to Gage Wood of being able to throw a no-hitter in the College World Series with his team's back up against the wall. We're just getting started on a Turn Up Tuesday edition of the Morning Kickoff. Coming up next, we're going to talk OKC as they are one win away from being a champion. We'll talk about it right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio and 1300 The Zone.
It's the Craig Way Show. If Jerry Jones does care as much about his fans as he says, try to make some moves that might at least appeal to them a little more than a lot of the moves you made. In other words, like a real personnel person, real general manager. Make Will McClay the real general manager.
Voice of the Texas Longhorns and Hall of Fame broadcaster. Weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. on AM 1300 The Zone.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival
Presented by Capital One
is coming back to Las Vegas.
September 19th and 20th. Streaming live only on Hulu.
And you can be there.
For a weekend full of superstar performances, never before seen collaborations, and once in a lifetime artist moments you'll have to see to believe. Tickets are on sale now at AXS.com. Get your tickets today at AXS.com. And we'll see you at our 2025 iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Presented by Capital One.
The JV and Sandy Show podcast. Stream it on the iHeartRadio app.
Well, good morning. We do have a little bit of a slowdown going on. FM 620 at Anderson Mill Road. There's an object there on the roadway, so just please slow down when you do see it. Good news, that accident did clear out, though. 35 northbound at William Cannon Drive. We still have a 13-minute delay, though. I'm Alan Craig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you want the lowest price. With their lowest price guarantee, if you find a qualifying lower price on the same item, they'll match it. Price match applies to same item, current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how they'll match price at Lowe's.com/lowest price guarantee.
Summertime is officially here, y'all. Time for those road trips, lake days, and family adventures. And your neighbors at Covert Ford Hutto, well, they've got you covered. Take $16,850 off MSRP on a new 2024 Ford Expedition Timberline and $14,279 off MSRP on a new 2025 Ford F-150 Platinum. Big adventures start at Covert Ford Hutto. CovertFordHutto.com.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. That does give us certain advantages, for example, in experience and resources. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. If you're a guy facing divorce, remember, Cordell & Cordell, a partner you can count on.
Austin, San Antonio, and St. Louis. CordellCordell.com.
Today doesn't have to suck. Break through your day-to-day boredom by downloading Call of Duty Mobile for free and enjoy fun gameplay featuring fan-favorite Call of Duty maps, modes, and operators, plus tons of new mobile content anywhere, anytime. Available on both the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. Download for free now. Rated R.
Craig Way here, and no matter who you listen to on the air, and no matter which team you root for, we can all agree in recommending Dr. Greg Eckert as your dentist. Dr. Eckert has been serving the Austin area for 30 years now. He's been my dentist for more than a decade. Greg Eckert and his staff will show you what your situation is, and they'll tell you what they can do to help so that you can make the informed decision about your dental health care needs. Give Dr. Eckert a call today at 512-345-3166. They're open on Fridays if that works for you. 512-345-3166 for Dr. Greg Eckert.
You want to see basketball played the way it's supposed to be? Well, check out Ice Cube's Big Three all summer long. Fast, physical, and fun. Catch the best professional 3-on-3 players in the world live every weekend on CBS and Vice.
And Doug. Here we have the Limu Emu in its natural habitat, helping people customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Fascinating. It's accompanied by his natural ally, Doug.
Limu, is that guy with the binoculars watching us?
Cut the camera. They see us.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
It is tough to go outside these days. Hey, that's understandable given how hot it is. But there is definitely a way to beat the heat. A trip to Inner Space Caverns in Georgetown. Inner Space Caverns is a great place to take the family. You'd be amazed at all of the beautiful formations, large rooms, prehistoric animal bones, and all kinds of creations with a truly unique discovery story right here in the Austin area in the year-round temperature of a very comfortable 72 degrees. You can check out the super exciting saber-tooth zip ride or pan for gemstones. Take the wild cave tour or the hidden passages tour. And there's a great souvenir gift shop and newly remodeled restrooms. Get out of the house, but get out of the heat and get some fresh air underground. Inner Space Caverns, right off I-35 at exit 259 in Georgetown. That's Inner Space Caverns. For more details, check them out on the web at innerspacecaverns.com. Inner Space Caverns. Check it out. Your adventure awaits.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone. Hook 'em horns.
Coming up at 7:34, we'll talk to our guy, Joe Cook of Inside Texas, as he breaks down the Texas Longhorn big recruiting weekend and everything that goes along with that. We'll also ask him about Texas baseball as well. But right now, let's get into OKC Thunder's victory over the Indiana Pacers, 120-119. And the story of the game is Tyrese Halliburton. Tyrese, I am gone, missing in action Halliburton. Tyrese, I missed the overrated Halliburton. Now, the big numbers, OKC is one of the best teams in the NBA. They've been that way all season long. They are 35-6 at home.
All right, listen, it's been a while since I seen a guy on a milk carton that I saw on television.
Exactly. And he is definitely, Tyrese Halliburton is going to be the topic a little bit later because, as you saw, he was dealing with an injury. But the story of the game is Jalen Williams and what he was able to do in an unbelievable playoff performance.
Williams drives a beautiful left hand scoop shot off the glass. He's got 26. 5 seconds. Williams on the drive. Puts up the shot. Banks it in. What a tough shot from Jalen Williams. But Wallace grabs it. SGA the drive. Back out the door. Right side. Jalen Williams a three. It's gone. Jalen Williams knocks it down. His team only down 6. And the Pacers have another miraculous comeback. Williams gets inside. Layups good. Such balance after the contact. On the drive, kicks it out Williams. Williams to the rack, high off the glass, it's good, he did it again! In game 1 of the conference finals at Madison Square Garden, he can get hot. Williams has been hot all night, falling away, got it! 40 points for Jalen Williams!
Jalen Williams was the answer to the question. He was the truth. He gave you what he said he was going to do, and that was come out and play well. 14 of 25, 9 of 12 from the free throw line, but it was more than that. It was more than just Jalen Williams. It was the way he was attacking the entire time. He wasn't missing open jumpers. I saw PJ Tucker shooting the other day, and they said NBA players don't miss, and this was during warmups. This was during a training session, and you start to understand it's a fact. They just don't miss. And the way that they played yesterday, even though they were fighting back, the Pacers were fighting back. TJ McConnell, we'll talk about him in a little bit, but OKC is just different.
Not only are they different, but they're just loaded, Hardge. They have so much talent. This might be the most talented team we've seen in probably 10, 15 years. Depth-wise, not individual. I mean, you had the big three, and you had the Spurs with the David Robinson and Tim Duncan, and you had a team like Dallas, who Dirk Nowitzki and all the accompaniments of the team that they had and the Lakers teams. But a team with 8 guys that can start, where do you find that? Nowhere. And the guys that are the core 4, I call them, because they could do with or without having Dort in the shooting guard small forward position for Oklahoma City is whatever, because they can put anybody in those roles. Everybody plays the same role. It's almost the true definition of positionless basketball, because the 2 guard, the small forward, power forward, they all play the same thing. Jalen plays it all 3 positions. Dort plays all 3 positions, and so does Caruso. Play all 3 positions.
Yep.
Caruso was playing Joker, defending him, and so did Dort. And Jalen, there's not been a team with this much depth like that.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, Hardge, that they can even be better as a team. They don't need nothing else. They can bring back identically the same team next year and win again.
Yeah, because they play
relentless defense
for sure. And they get after you the entire time. I guess Caruso heard me hyping him up. So yesterday he only scored 2 points and just wasn't the same, but he did have 4 steals. He had a bunch of hustle plays. He continues to wreak havoc. But Jalen Williams and what he was able to do, along with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with the 31 points, but they combined for 71 of their 120 points. 2 guys showed up. And then you look at what happened with Indiana. Pascal Siakam was unbelievable. 28 points. He was playing hard. He was helpful. He was blocking. He was running the floor. But then you have what we saw from TJ McConnell. He had to step up. He had to step up. He's one of those guys, undersized, but he, like you said, the heart of a lion. But the story is Tyrese Halliburton. We know he's not healthy. He looked like he wasn't healthy. But for him to only take 6 shots in the ball game, when we know that he is their playmaker, that cannot happen. And people were talking about that after the ball game, about Tyrese Halliburton being hurt.
He had 4 turnovers in the first half.
Here, I don't want to be rude because the Pacers are that team that are – if Tyrese Halliburton said this series is going 7, you're missing your best, your closer, your floor leader. Even when he was out there hobbling on one leg, he was making that ball pop in that beginning of that fourth quarter, right? So for me, even him at 50% is good. But here's a problem. If he's at 50%, they're going to find you.
Yeah.
They're like the IRS.
Are they?
Look, they're going to find him in this game.
They didn't go at him, I thought, in the second half.
I think they're going to watch film and go, why did we leave him off the hook?
Right.
And then they're going to put him in different actions, see if he switches. If they're putting 2 on the ball, that's barbecue chicken. So he's going to have to figure it out and try to get as healthy as possible to give the Pacers a chance.
Man, apparently barbecue chicken is got another meaning now.
Yeah.
Man, like definitely he's going to be barbecue chicken. They're going to scheme to put him in position to defend the entire game, and that leg is not going to be able to stand up to it.
No, they don't play until Thursday, so he has a few days to try to get better and be healthy. But for him to still not be aggressive, he has to be aggressive. That is his ball game.
I don't think he could get off on his first step dribbling, and he had 4 turnovers in the first half.
Yeah,
4 turnovers in a game. You know, there's guys that don't have 4 turnovers in a series.
Well, he had 4. He had 4 in the game, and he was so ineffective that he sat on the bench most of the time. But again, that's why T.J. McConnell was able to do what he was able to do.
Right.
But for Tyrese Halliburton, he's telling everybody he's got to play through it.
I mean, it's gonna be a finals. It's the finals, man. I've worked my whole life to be here, and I want to be out there to compete. Help my teammates any way I can. I was not great tonight by any means, but it's not really a thought of mine to not play here. If I can walk, then I want to play. So they understand that, and is what it is, and got to be ready to go for Game 6.
You got to be ready to go for Game 6 because there is no tomorrow.
Yeah, and Mathurin and Naismith, they got to step up.
Yeah,
they've got to do better. And the guy, your teammate is hurt, and you want to have productive minutes when you're out there. And I don't think either one of those guys played like they did early in the series.
Well, you had 28 from Siakam. Naismith gave you 14. Miles Turner was 13, and Obi Toppin had 12. But all of those guys were in the minuses except for TJ McConnell. He was +4. Everybody else, the starting lineup, was awful when it came down to it. The points are one thing, but the efficiency of what they needed was something else. And now they have to go back to Indianapolis.
Can't give the other team the ball.
And you got to get a chance to get out there and make something happen. They had 22 turnovers in the loss to only 11 by OKC. Coming up next, we talk to Joe Cook of Inside Texas, talking all things Longhorns, and recruiting is heating up right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center, Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
Well, good morning. We do have an accident blocking the left turn lane. This is going to be on Ben White Boulevard, right there at Montopolis Drive. So no cause of no delay at this point. Also, we do have an object on the roadway. This is going to be FM 620 at Anderson Mill Road. I'm Alan Craig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by CONCACAF Gold Cup. The CONCACAF Gold Cup is coming to Austin's Q2 Stadium Thursday, June 19th. Saudi Arabia versus United States. Sea Stars Christian Pulisic and Tyler Adams fight to reclaim Gold Cup glory. Get your tickets now at SeatGeek.com. That's SeatGeek.com.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
After 48 years, Factory Mattress is going out of business forever. Over $15 million worth of world-class mattress brands must be sold immediately. Up to 80% off at Austin and San Antonio's largest independent mattress retailer. Everything must go, right down to the bare walls. Tempur-Pedic, Sealy, and Stearns & Foster. No interest financing is still available. The Factory Mattress going out of business sale is happening now at all 14 locations. Don't miss it.
It's time to warm up that scoreboard and get ready to bring home the win with Specs. Specs has you covered with lower prices on all your favorite fan fuel. From craft beer, rare spirits, and world-class wine to chips, dips, and gourmet finer foods. And with same-day delivery when you order online or through the app, Specs is your MVP for the biggest score of the game. At Specs, the fun starts here.
Here's to you, cheers to savings.
Friends, if you live in Austin, Cedar Park, Kyle, Pflugerville, or Round Rock, and you're tired of paying too much for car insurance, pick up the phone and call Fred Loya Insurance today. Insurance rates are constantly changing, which is why you need to call Fred Loya Insurance right now for a new and updated quote. Call now. Save money. It's that easy. Call Fred Loya Insurance at 1-800-444-4040. That's 1-800-444-4040 or visit fredloya.com. Remember, if you don't call, you don't save.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very
calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
The Red Hot Astros open a 4-game set with the Athletics tonight, riding a 5-game winning streak. Lance McCullers Jr. will take the hill for Houston. The Rangers are off. They'll go for a 5th straight win tomorrow night. In the opener of a 3-game set with the Royals, Jack Leiter will take the hill. And the Thunder and Pacers are in Game 5 of the NBA Finals tonight at Oklahoma City. They're tied at 2 games apiece in their best of 7. I'm Frank Garrity.
Hey, this is Lincoln Kennedy. Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Mercedes-Benz.
The Mercedes-Benz Dream Days are back with offers on vehicles like the 2025 E-Class, CLE Coupe, C-Class, and EQE Sedan. Hurry in now through July 31st. Visit your local authorized dealer or learn more at mbusa.com/dream.
Your favorite artists
in your library.
Your favorite songs
in your playlist.
But your favorite morning show.
They make me laugh every day. Or your favorite team in action.
Oh my goodness, he caught it! Or your live local news, traffic, and weather.
Implications from coast to coast.
Yep, there's an app for all that too.
iHeartRadio.
We're not just streaming music, we're streaming moments.
Everyone wants to be here.
Join the millions of Americans.
And add us to your entertainment lineup now. Download the #1 app for radio.
The free iHeartRadio app.
Join the voice of the Texas Longhorns, Craig Way, each day from 2 to 5 p.m. for the Craig Way Show on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
It's Tuesday, so you know what that means. It's time to talk to our guy, Joe Cook of Inside Texas. You can follow him on social at JosephCook89. And Joe, I want to get right into the conversation real quick. Number one, I know you're a huge baseball fan. What did you think of that performance yesterday on the mound for the Arkansas pitcher?
Hey, when you have the chance to finish a no-hitter in the College World Series, you let them go. 119 pitches, you can ice down that arm, but that glory never fades. So I don't always like Dave Van Horn, but I'm glad he let that go, and good on the Razorbacks for taking advantage of a great outing.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. The way that his breaking ball was dipping, I was like, man, he is locked in like no other. And that psycho look that he had on his face let you know everything about him when he was dialed in right there. He was feeling it. Well, let's talk Texas football, because Texas had a big time recruiting weekend, and they continue to make these pushes for a lot of players whose dads played here, whose family members are part of the university, but they're also looking at some big prospects. So talk about the past weekend of what Texas was able to do in recruiting.
Yeah, this past weekend they had a lot of players from the state of Georgia coming in. One to know is Dre Quinn. Currently attends Buford High School, just outside Atlanta. Plays a defensive end position. Probably plays Colin Simmons' position at the next level. And this is the second time I've been able to interact with him after a visit, and I can't think of a recruit that loves the city of Austin more. Just talks about, looking at the skyline and seeing opportunity, looking at the football facility and seeing opportunity. Texas is battling Clemson for him, but I think the Longhorns are in a real strong spot. I even put in a prediction yesterday for Texas to end up landing him. As you mentioned, they have some legacies in town. The notable one is Jalen Lott, son of James Lott. Goes to Panther Creek High School up in Frisco, but was high school teammates for a couple of years with Dalen McCutcheon and Parker Livingstone. he's got the capability to play on either side of the ball. Looking at it from my perspective, I think he's got an NFL future at defensive back, but he's got his preference to want to play a little bit of wide receiver. And so Chris Jackson and Steve Sarkisian have been recruiting him to give him that opportunity. So he's got a visit left to Oregon, I believe. Should have a decision on July 8th. Texas is battling the Ducks, but they've done really well to overcome a lot of different pitches that Oregon had given him, and now has put them into a strong position to get his recruitment over the line.
I'm a sizist, and I'm going to always bring up the big guy. Give me some intel on Felix Ojo.
Yeah, this is a player who started kind of ranked in the 100s and 200s. And obviously those are great players considering the millions that play high school football. But he was in the 100s and 200s, and he looked at that and said, no, not good enough. Now he's worked his way up to being the number one player in the state and basically the number 2 offensive tackle in the class. Texas put everything out in front of him this weekend. They've been recruiting him, I think, for the longest. They've been treating him like that 5-star tackle for the longest. The Longhorns are battling Michigan, Ohio State, and then oddly enough, Utah. I think there's a family connection there that has to do with the Ojo's family history. I don't know if he's LDS, but I think that may be just a place that they had lived for a little while, so there's some familiarity there. I don't see the Utes as a threat, though. I think Michigan and Ohio State are the biggest threats, but Texas has put their really strong foot forward. And I think this is one of the recruitments that Kyle Flood does well in and has done well in so far. And I'll give you one more on the defensive side of the ball. Birmingham Parker defensive lineman Vodney Cleveland. He said yesterday he's going to announce his commitment on the 21st, and that's when I would encourage Texas fans to pay attention to. Vodney just had his official visit to Texas, and by all accounts, it was as good as it could have gotten. So some good news potentially on the way for Texas in the trenches.
We're talking to Joe Cook of Inside Texas. Make sure you follow him at Joseph Cook 89 and get over to On3 for Inside Texas because they've got all the info over there. I'm looking at it right now. And I wanted to ask you this, Joe, because I'm looking at this 4-star offensive tackle from Prosper. He looks massive, and he looks like he's a nasty type of player. And I'm talking about Zayden Crimpton out of Prosper. Tell me a little bit about him.
Yeah, you may look at him wearing Prosper green and playing left tackle and wearing, I think, number 65 and think, oh no, it's Jake Majors again. He's got versatility, but he's a different player than Jake Majors. He's got length Jake Majors didn't have. He's got some strength and that Jake Majors didn't have, and he's got the ability to play tackle that Jake Majors didn't have. And I think a lot of recruiting people have looked at him and thought like, oh, you're going to play on the interior. And I know On3 even ranked him as an interior guy, but he is someone who can legitimately play all 5 spots on the offensive line, and that includes offensive tackle. And you can never have enough tackles because if you run short on tackles, well, you can't bump somebody inside to play tackle. If you run short on guards, well, you can find a tackle to play guard. But it doesn't really work the other way. But he's got tackle feet. He's got, just general offensive lineman nastiness. And Texas has shown him that, they're not feeding into the interior lineman thing. They're saying you are a tackle, you're good enough to play that way. But looking at it from my perspective, definitely versatile and talented enough to play every single position on the offensive line. Texas is battling Texas A&M, LSU, and Michigan for his signature. And the Longhorns have, they've put together strong presentations for him, and I believe that they may be the team to beat for Crimpton.
All right, I want to ask you this because, I think we all know the answer, but it's a little bit more than just the Lamborghinis and Ferraris. There's more to it when it comes to recruiting and the players committing to the University of Texas. What is it about Coach Sark and his staff that has these young players understanding once you get here, it's all about development and you're going to get an opportunity to play?
They've got the evidence. Used to all these coaches that Texas had they had to try to sell development that they did elsewhere. Charlie Strong had some great years at Louisville, but he kept on trying to sell hope in Louisville. Tom Herman had great years at Texas, and I think he had great years at Houston, had good years at Texas. But at a certain point, he was trying to sell hope and development, and that was in spite of some other cracks in the program. I think now with Sark, over the course of the 5 years, his head coach track record, now it just kind of looks like Texas. And now it's got 23 or 25 draft picks over the past 2 years. You combine that with being in a great city, there being opportunities to make a little bit of money as a football player, and what Steve Sarkisian mentions often, a great culture where people enjoy working hard and work hard to enjoy themselves. I think it's a very, very attractive program to be in, especially if you're competing for national championships and SEC championships.
Man, as always, we come to you because we want the dirt, and you gave it to us, but you also made sure that we understood that it's more than just the flashy cars. It's all about that development right here on the 40 acres. As always, man, thanks for getting up with us, and we appreciate your time, bro.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate you.
When we come back, we're going to talk about Stephen A. Smith and what did he say that was so crazy that had a legend upset. Right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
The Craig Way Show with Craig Way.
Tex Schramm, you'd hear him on with Brad Sham when we had the show and I was the producer for it, called Ask Tex Schramm. This was like 1987. The football Cardinals were moving to Arizona. Brad Sham is doing the show. And so he asked him, he said, well, does that mean also now there'll be a change that the Atlanta Falcons would move from the NFC West to the NFC East? The Texas response was, well, once you're on an airplane, what difference does it make?
Weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. on AM 1300, The Zone.
The JB and Sandy Show podcast. Stream it on the iHeartRadio app.
Well, good morning. We do have an accident blocking the left turn lane. This is going to be on Ben White Boulevard, right there at Montopolis Drive. So no cause of no delay at this point. Also, we do have a little object on the roadway. This is going to be FM 620 at Anderson Mill Road. I'm Alan Craig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Cedar Park Overhead Doors. For top quality garage doors that won't break the bank, you can count on Cedar Park Overhead Doors. Their sales reps will find the door you want, not the one they want to sell. For the best prices and the best service, call Cedar Park Overhead Doors. Online at cedarparkgaragedoors.com.
Hey, it's JB and Sandy for our friends at Koala Cooling. Scott and Stacy, the same great people behind Kangaroo that I've been telling you about for a while. They are the same people that own Koala Cooling and Plumbing. They're great people to know, and they're really great to know if you've got AC problems.
When I do big decisions like this, I like to know the owners.
Yeah.
I've met Scott and Stacy, great people. You do not want to get caught with your pants down in Texas with a broken air conditioner. The way to prevent that, even if your AC is working fine right now, is to set up a service plan, have them come check it, and it may end up saving you a bunch of money. If you're unfortunately in the need of help right now, call them immediately to get you cooled off again, because it's only going to get worse in the next few months.
And don't forget about plumbing. If you've been putting off a repair for a leaky faucet or a clogged drain, Koala can help you out with that too. Contact them at koalacooling.com or call 512-759-8800. Doug.
Here we have the Limu Emu in its natural habitat, helping people customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Fascinating. It's accompanied by his natural ally, Doug.
Limu, is that guy with the binoculars watching us?
Cut the camera. They see us.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Today doesn't have to suck. Break through your day-to-day boredom by downloading Call of Duty Mobile for free and enjoy fun gameplay featuring fan-favorite Call of Duty maps, modes, and operators, plus tons of new mobile content anywhere, anytime. Available on both the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. Download for free now. Rated M.
Caroline Barrega had it all. A loving husband, thriving kids, and meaningful work. Then, her police officer husband's secret infidelity and abuse of his badge were exposed. In season 4 of the Betrayal podcast, she confronts his deception and the police department that overlooked his misconduct.
The kids and I thought we were living this life of love and a family. Never did I think that anything like this was going on behind our backs.
Open your free iHeartRadio app, search Betrayal, and listen now.
With great deals coming this Prime Day, July 8th through the 11th, greatness is a deal away. So if you love baking, you can get a deal on a new mixer, transforming you into the Lord of the Loaves.
Hear ye! Make way for the baron of brioche, the sultan of sourdough, the lord of the loaves, prime member, Dave!
Yeah, hi?
Shop great deals this Prime Day, July 8th through the 11th.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 Pro on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16 Pro. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Hand sanitizer. It's lavender.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check this pocket. Oh, mints?
Really, I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins. I'm a mom. Wait 1 sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
It's our best iPhone offer ever. Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line $100 plus a month on experience beyond finance agreement $999.99 and qualifying ported. For well qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Payout via virtual prepaid card. Allow 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
Get the Apple leasing advantage today. Visit appleleasing.com. That's appleleasing.com.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin. Your home for the Horns. Make us the #1 preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good. Catch every pitch with the Round Rock Express on 1300 The Zone.
What? I was thrown off for a second. I was like, wait a minute. What are they doing? But you know what that means. That means I'm giving you a chance to win a pair of tickets to go see Lainey Wilson September the 18th at the Moody Center. All you got to do is get over to that iHeartRadio app, tap that red microphone on AM 1300 The Zone, and leave the keyword break. Break is the keyword to win a pair of tickets to go see Lainey Wilson September the 18th at the Moody Center. Be listening all week for a chance to win. All right, since we were talking basketball and what's been going on in the NBA, it's only right that we have our Screaming A. Smith segment. And Screaming A. Smith had the nerve to say this about a special player in the NBA.
What's one word you would use to describe Giannis's career if he doesn't win another title?
Underachiever. Underachiever.
Now, he called him an achiever. So what ends up happening when you have a former top draft pick, superstar at Duke, Jay Will comes onto the set and he goes at Stephen A. Smith?
That was one of your worst picks I've heard in a long time, man. That was horrible. Mm-hmm. I had to, you know, like I'm the little brother that has is filled with the venom sometimes when you and I go at each other, and it's all love because it's always love. But I think we really need to do a better job of reframing some of these conversations, right? And if you were to say that the franchise, the Milwaukee Bucks, have underachieved or are the biggest underachievers with the talent of Giannis, fair. But A guy who has a 50-point closeout game. A guy who's never chased any of these dream team scenarios. A guy who is a finals MVP. A guy who's a multi-time all-star, all NBA, all everything, global face of the game. The fact that he brought an NBA championship to Milwaukee in the midst of the fire that he did. To call him an underachiever, I just think is an asinine comment. Because then if we go through history, we're calling a lot of these other great players who have won one NBA championship, which, by the way, you know how hard it is to win a championship? It's one of the hardest. It's like, okay, my college career, I'm an underachiever because my freshman and my junior year, we lost to Florida in the Sweet 16 and we lost to Indiana in the Sweet 16. And both of them went on to lose in a national championship game, but I got one my sophomore year. So I'm an underachiever because I should have more. So you're calling Allen Iverson an underachiever. You're calling Dirk an underachiever. You're calling KG an underachiever. You just called Oscar Robertson an underachiever because they've all got one championship.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Unbelievable that he would even say that.
He's out of control. His ego and the fact that he thinks that he's a star athlete. He is a star in the media, but you got to know your role, to quote the great Ron Simmons, because that's where The Rock got it from. You got to know your role. You got to know your position. You got to stay in your lane, as the great LeVar Ball would say. Whatever cliche that it takes for you to know where you shouldn't step out of. And that's what Jay was saying.
And here's the key to it all is Stephen A's facial expression as Jay is just dressing him down. He's giving that, I can't believe you getting back at me look.
Well, the thing about it is, and again, it is all so different at times. It is amazing how all this stuff kind of goes down. But the one thing that drives me nuts is the fact that how people always want to quantify what they consider being an underachiever or an overachiever or
but
somebody.
He was just wrong.
No, that's what I'm saying. But like he said, we got to start framing things as we control these microphones. We have to start framing things a little bit better. We can't just throw crazy stuff out there because now they will check you. Now you will be called out on falsehoods. And for him to say that Giannis is an MVP of the championship, he's won. He's been an MVP of the league multiple times. He's never chased anything.
No, and if you were to say we're going to do a draft of the entire NBA, all the players starting all over from scratch, every team, we're going to do a lottery, and you're going to pick the teams like that. Giannis would be one of the top 5 players picked.
Every time.
Every human on earth that's watched the basketball be dribbled will pick Giannis in the top 5 picks.
Yeah.
But that's another thing. That's the reason why these players started joining each other, because takes like that, you're an underachiever because you haven't won the chip. Come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, Charles Barkley has been getting it for years, but Shaq does it jokingly.
Yeah.
He knows who Charles Barkley was. Charles Barkley has had at least 20 to 30 players kind of be what he became, but they will never be a 6'5" guy doing it. Jalen Williams is the closest thing I've seen to him.
Well, Jalen's about to win a championship and Barkley doesn't have one, so that's why people say that. But his abilities are, you can't say he ain't good. You know what I'm saying?
You can't say that.
He's one of the top players.
Get out of here.
That is the thing that sometimes you just
he
throw
should put
stuff
himself
out there.
on punishment.
He needs to go and say,
Go to your room.
apologize. I misspoke. That's what I did. Coming up next, we're going to talk Texas State to the Pac-12. What? Don't go anywhere. We roll on here in just a moment with my man, Kev Sardello, as he talks Pac-12 right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
This is Mark Henry, the world's strongest man. Discover the true taste of Texas at Mom's Food Smokehouse and Delicatessen, where everything is handcrafted in-house, from the mustard to the bacon. Proudly featured in the inaugural Michelin Guide of Texas, they source the finest products from local producers. Visit us at 5811 Manor Road, Austin, Texas, or find them at your favorite farmer's market. Pre-order their barbecue today. Don't you keep the best delicatessen in Austin a secret. Tell them Mark Henry sent you.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the GPS directions first before driving to the mall.
Turn right at the light. In 1,000 miles, you will reach Montreal.
Not Montreal, the mall.
Recalculating. 6,000 miles to Nepal.
No, the mall.
Checking first is smart.
Recalculating.
So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
What's the best place to reach new customers for your business? Wherever they are. And that's exactly where you can be with iHeartMedia. We talk to our listeners everywhere, from the car to the gym to the kitchen. Your next customer is listening. And not only can we get your message to your audience, we can also show you how it's working in real time. That goes for broad brand messaging and targeted hyperlocal influencer campaigns alike. Start growing your business today at iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
We all want to feel completely safe when we're locking up at night, going to bed. Peace of mind. Simply Safe provides that. Traditional security systems only react after a break-in happens, but Simply Safe is setting the new standard by helping to prevent threats before they get started. Get 50% off your new Simply Safe system with professional monitoring, and your first month is free at simplysafedan.com. Peace of mind. Simply Safe provides that. There's no safe like Simply Safe. Pickleball is the fastest growing court sport in the world, and no one makes playing pickleball safer, more comfortable, and quicker on your feet than Tyrell. Tyrell is the first purpose-built shoe made specifically for playing pickleball. Tyrell shoes are made with the famous Vibram outsole. Remember, Tyrol. If you want to elevate your game, you want to play longer, more comfortably, go to TyrellPickleball.com and experience how Tyrell can help your game while making you look like a real pro.
At Henna Chevrolet, the price we agree on is the exact price you'll pay.
I was at a Chevy dealer recently, found the car I wanted, agreed on a price, and made it all the way to the financing table. Before they mentioned the $2,500 mandatory dealer package they added. Mandatory, as in they refused to remove it. So I left and went to Henna.
For straightforward, all-inclusive pricing, come in and together let's drive at Henna Chevrolet or Henna.com.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights. With thousands of 5-star reviews, you can trust us to bring happiness home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Big news for drivers. Presets have landed on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with iHeartRadio. Access your favorite stations, podcasts, and playlists instantly right from your dashboard. Try the free iHeartRadio app on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto and take those presets for a spin.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin. Your home for the Horns. Make us the #1 preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
The morning kickoff. The morning kickoff.
It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Hardge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer, Mark Henry on your home for the Horns. 1300 The Zone.
Welcome back to hour number 2 of the morning kickoff right here on AM 1300 The Zone. In hour number 1, we talked about Gage Wood throwing a no-hitter in the College World Series. First one in 65 years. We talked OKC defeating the Indiana Pacers 120-109. We also had a lot of Texas Longhorns talk. And, of course, we got Stephen A. getting checked. But right now, we're going to go down to Slam Marcus, beautiful San Marcos, and my man Kef Ciardello as he gets ready to talk Pac-12. He is the host of the Win Now or Get Bent podcast. You can follow him on social media at Kef_C. Kev, thank you for joining us this morning, man, because there is a lot happening when it comes to the Bobcats and their possible move.
Hey, there's a lot going on in sports in general this time of year. The fact that the Bobcats make the docket is wonderful. There must be something big happening right now, and there sure is with all this Pac-12 rumors.
So tell us about the Pac-12 rumors. It looks like they are the team. Texas State has been getting a lot of love from all of the people in the Pac-12 with the expansion of it all, and we could hear some news pretty soon.
Yes, this has been something going back all the way to last summer. These rumors started to trickle in about, hey, could Texas State potentially move to the Pac-12 with all these other teams, when Boise State, Fresno State, San Diego State, when all those West Coast teams were joining up in the new Pac-12, all of a sudden Texas name dropped in, and I'm sitting here in San Marcos like, how is that possible? That's a West Coast conference. This has to be just a rumor. And then as it got closer to the season, it started to become more of a reality where these rumors actually had legs. When you start asking people about it and they don't want to talk about it, it's like, oh, you guys are actually negotiating with conferences. So it's been a slow draw since then. It's been like, is it going to happen? Maybe since around October, when the rumors still really started to ramp up. But now with UNLV is a team that the Pac-12 was looking at. They needed to register to exit their conference by June 1st, or else the exit fees were going to be a whole lot. And once that date passed, then that's when Texas State became the official first team that they're looking at for Pac-12 realignment. It's crazy that it's like college football has come to this, where we're probably looking at the Pac-12 in San Marcos, but it's looking more and more like a reality every day.
So let me ask you this, because of the fact of this being the conversation and a lot of news coming out of college football is being about the Pac-12 and trying to get it back together. Is this something that Texas State was looking for, or was there another conference that they truly wanted to get into?
I think the goal here was just to expand the media rights deal, how much money they're making each year. Because right now, Texas State's in the Sun Belt Conference making just under $2 million a year. And now if you know about these other media rights deals, obviously you have like Texas and the SEC, where they're making somewhere 50, 60 million. Who knows exactly how much it is. It's way, way more than 2 million in some of these other G5 schools. And with revenue sharing, when you can share $20.5 million per year with your athletes coming up, that media rights deal money is going to be more and more important. And the Bobcats, they want to at least get close to that as much as they can. So moving up from $2 million a year was important, because they did actually have an offer during the football season to join the Mountain West Conference. And I'm not exactly sure how much that is. I think it's around $4 million a year, which would be an increase from where the Bobcats were. But when you put into account travel and everything, it wouldn't have been worth it. So they've been holding out for the Pac-12, because they knew the Pac-12 that would have been an option. And they don't know exactly where that's going to land at, how much money, the annual payout with the new Pac-12, what that's going to look like. It could be somewhere between 8 and 15 million. Most people are thinking it's going to land around 10, 11 million per year, which is a significant amount more for Texas State. And if you want to position yourself in this new college football landscape where it's looking like these power conferences are going to break off and they're going to do their own thing, if you want to have your shot at potentially joining that, this is the way to do it. Is it the same Pac-12 that it was just a few years ago? No, not even close. but it at least gets them closer than the Sun Belt would. And I think that's the motivation, especially with the school president here, Dr. Kelly Damphus. He's been very motivated by making athletics the front porch of the university and putting them at the foremost areas that they need to expand the brand of Texas State and get them to an R1 university on the education side. So it's been over the last couple of years a very calculated effort to make sports on the front of everybody's mind. I mean, even when in the Vic Bubas Cup, 3 out of the last 4 years, which is given to the top Sun Belt athletics department each year annually, and the Bobcats have won it 3 of the last 4 years, including the last 2 years. So even though it's not totally winning conference championships in football, it's doing it in other areas. It's dominating across the board. So it's time to move up and on as far as the administration here feels.
That was a brass tack. That was the brass tacks of what I was thinking about a number. What was the number? So 10 million kind of is kind of a number that could get everything moving.
That's what it seems. And, it's all rumored right now. I know there was an announcement last week that the Pac-12 had figured out exactly how much the media rights deal is. And now we don't know exactly what that is, but most people have speculated around 10 million, 11 million. There was some cryptic tweets from Dr. Kelly Damphus, school president at Texas State, a couple months ago, where it seemed like he was meeting with Pac-12 officials, presidents. I'm not exactly sure who, but he put out a tweet saying, talking about how when he's eating soup, he doesn't want a half bowl, he wants a full bowl. Seemingly, he was alluding to that they offered him a half share. Whether if that media rights deal was 10 million, they'd say you can get 5 million for the next few years and then get a full share. And it didn't seem like that was something that Texas State wanted. So it seems if they are going to go forward, it's likely going to be for a full deal or some sort of similar restructured deal.
They're going to need that to, put that subsidize in what the players are going to require. And you don't see 22 million just floating around Texas State University.
No, not at all. That's why it would be a huge windfall around here. It would completely change the way things are. I mean, like I was saying, it's just under 2 million a year from the Sun Belt. The Bobcats, they've been making a lot of hay. Despite that, they've been doing things on their own, making money, raising money any way that they can. And if they can get just this media rights deal where it's just a big check every single year, it really just opens up everything you can do. Now, granted, if they go to the Pac-12, that's a lot of travel. I mean, there's not a team within 2 states right now. I mean, I think the closest one would be like Colorado State. It would be pretty crazy. I don't know how I would travel. I mean, I'm not getting any of that media rights deal. So
get that Southwest deal.
We're talking
find some new sponsors.
We're talking to Kev Tardello, of the host of the Win Now or Get Bent podcast. You can follow him on social media at Kev_C. And, a lot of this is happening with the changes that are happening at Texas State. They're building on to the football stadium, getting the suites, getting everything kind of built up. GJ Kinney has done an unbelievable job going back-to-back bowl games. The energy around Texas State is for them to act now, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, it is. It's been it feels ever since GJ Kinney got here, everyone's been on the fast track of we got to get things rolling, we got to get this ball going, because really with the way and it couldn't have hit at a better time. It really was needed after 10 plus years of staying stagnant and not doing much, or specifically in football, staying very mediocre in football. It was very much needed. And with how much everything is changing around college football, like I was talking about the power conferences potentially breaking off and doing their own thing, this is needed more now than ever. You have to do this if you want to put yourself in position to be at the table, to not be left out. If something does happen where these teams break off, then you have to put yourself in the best position you can. I mean, obviously, being location wise, the Bobcats, they'd love for the Pac or the Big 12 to come look for them, or some of these other teams. But I mean, this is their option. This is the one that they could take. It is on the West Coast. It is kind of a funky league, but it's something that the Bobcats think is gonna elevate them higher than the Sun Belt can right now.
When do you think the answer will come about on the move or possible move?
You know, it really seems like July 1st is a huge date for Texas State. I don't know if this necessarily matters for the Pac-12, but Texas State, their exit fees for the Sun Belt double on July 1st from $5 million to $10 million. So I'm pretty sure they're very motivated to get it done within the next couple weeks. But it also seems like the Pac-12 is motivated to get it done as well. Now they have till next July 1st, 2026, to get that 8th team in their conference to fully flesh it out, and boom, they have a full conference. So they have a while, but they obviously they want to get that done sooner rather than later. So I think both sides are motivated. You could see it get done this week.
Who's another team?
Say that again.
Who's another team that could fill that spot, that void?
You know, it was UNLV, but after that June 1st date, that passed up. They were looking at Tulane and Memphis, but it seems like the price is too high for Tulane and Memphis right now in the AAC. Kind of the same situation for UTSA. That's a school there. It seems like they're somewhat flirting with as well, UTSA. So a lot of these American Athletic Conferences teams, that's who they're looking, some of the bigger ones.
Yeah, I cannot wait till July the 1st. We should know more, and I'm sure you're going to keep us updated as well. Kef Chardello. Make sure you follow him at Kef_C for all the latest with your Texas Bobcats. As always, man, thank you for taking the time.
Thanks, Kef.
Hey, appreciate y'all. See you next time.
That's right. It'll be sooner than later. I promise you that, brother.
Yes, sir.
All right. When we come back, we're going to talk Texas football. Oh, man, the percentages are out. And Texas only has one competitor with their chance to being in the playoffs. We'll talk about it right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Light the tower burnt orange.
Grounded to short, backhanded by Good, fires to first. Texas wins the national championship.
Texas softball has won their first national championship in program history.
The Longhorns are on top of the college softball world.
1300 The Zone, the home of national champion Texas softball.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival
presented by Capital One
is coming back to Las Vegas.
September 19th and 20th, streaming live only on Hulu.
And you can be there
for a weekend full of superstar performances, never before seen collaborations, and once in a lifetime artist moments you'll have to see to believe. Tickets are on sale now at AXS.com. Get your tickets today at AXS.com. And we'll see you at our 2025 iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Presented by Capital One.
The JB and Sandy Show podcast. Stream it on the iHeartRadio app. Well, good morning. We do have an accident reported on TX 130 toll right there at FM 969, causing no delay at this moment. But also good news, that accident did clear out earlier. Ben White Boulevard on the frontage road right there at Montopolis Drive. I'm Alan Craig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies, offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code radio for an extra 5% off.
Hold up a sec. If I work today, why should I have to wait 2 weeks to get my money? With Earnin, you can access your pay as you work instead of waiting days and weeks for a paycheck. Get up to $150 a day with a max of $750 between paydays. No interest, no credit checks, and no mandatory fees. Because, I mean, hey, it's your money. Download the Earnin app now to get it and join millions of people making any day payday. That's EARNIN. Earnin is not a bank. Access limits are based on earnings and risk factors available in select states. Expedited transfers available for fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Visit earnin.com for full details.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Serving in the military requires great sacrifices, not just for one's country, but also for one's family. Not surprisingly, divorce for soldiers is especially difficult, and it raises a number of challenges that are peculiar to military divorce, things such as deployments, relocation, retirement benefits. These issues can be complicated. So if you're a soldier facing such challenges, go to CordellCordell.com.
Austin, San Antonio, and St. Louis. CordellCordell.com.
You want to see basketball played the way it's supposed to be? Well, check out Ice Cube's Big Three all summer long. Fast, physical, and fun. Catch the best professional 3-on-3 players in the world live every weekend on CBS and Vice.
Earl Campbell here for my good friends at Austin Shoe Hospital. Austin Shoe Hospital has been repairing my favorite boots and shoes for over 30 years. They are the best Western boot repair company in Texas and can repair any boot brand or style. Visit the master cobblers at Austin Shoe Hospital and they will bring all your shoes, boots, and bags back to life. If you can wear it, they can repair it. Oh, yes, and hook 'em horns.
Visit AustinShoeHospital.com.
I love going to the movies, especially a summer blockbuster, and F1 the movie is all that and more. Brad Pitt plays Sonny Hayes, a former F1 driver chasing a second shot at glory, and this is from the team behind Top Gun Maverick, and it has that same epic feel. I took my 15-year-old son to see it, and he said, and I quote, "Yo, that movie was lit." F1 the movie from Apple Original Films and Warner Brothers Pictures, only in theaters and IMAX June 27th, rated PG-13, may be inappropriate for children under 13.
King's Hawaiian welcomes you to summer and reminds you sliders are the perfect meal for the summer grilling season. King's Hawaiian rolls and slider buns, so versatile, perfect for whatever you're thinking of grilling up. How about chicken, beef, pork, fish, whatever you're thinking of putting on the grill, King's Hawaiian can turn those into delicious sliders and make you the hero of the backyard. So get ready for summer grilling season. Go to the bakery or deli section of your local grocery store and pick up those irresistible King's Hawaiian rolls and slider buns and enjoy.
Stuck in the same day-to-day routine? Wake up, go to work, eat, sleep, repeat? Break through the boredom this summer and download Call of Duty Mobile for free. Enjoy fan-favorite maps, modes, and operators from classic Call of Duty titles, plus new mobile-exclusive content. Today doesn't have to suck. Cure your boredom for free with Call of Duty almost anywhere, anytime. Call of Duty Mobile is available on both the Apple App Store and Google Play Store for free today. Rated M for mature.
And Doug. Here we have the Limu Emu in its natural habitat, helping people customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Fascinating. It's accompanied by his natural ally, Doug.
Limu, is that guy with the binoculars watching us?
Cut the camera. They see us.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
It's the Craig Way Show with the voice of the Longhorns, Craig Way. Weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
Great stuff from Kev Scardello as he broke down the Texas State move. We'll also have Mike Craven of Dave Campbell's Texas Football on Thursday to talk about Sark being on the cover and, of course, talking about Texas State as well. Because by then, we'll probably have more intel. But right now, I want to talk Texas football. Texas football is the only team that was able to make the college football playoffs in back-to-back seasons, even with the adjusted playoff format. A lot of teams have their journeys to get into the playoffs. We talked about it yesterday about the win-loss records and how Texas, they said that Texas might be the overvalued team that is out there. But Bet Online doesn't think that at all. The Texas Longhorns' playoff chances have been greater than any other team out there except for one, but it is by a slim margin. Bet Online believes that the Texas Longhorns have the second best odds to be a playoff team, right behind the national champion and their first opponent, Ohio State. They have Ohio State at 76.5 chance of making the college football playoffs. They have Texas at 75% chance of making the playoffs. Oregon, Georgia, Penn State are all in 70s. Alabama's at 60. Notre Dame's at 60. Clemson, which I looked at Clemson's schedule yesterday, and if they don't make the playoffs, I don't know what they were doing, and the rails have fallen off over there because
They
that
playing
has
Walmart State.
They have one of the easier schedules that are out there. They also have LSU, Ole Miss, Boise State, Miami, and Michigan from 41% for LSU all the way down to Michigan at 31%. They have Texas A&M at 29% chance of making the playoffs. Texas Tech, 17%. Oklahoma, 16%. And USC rounding it out at 15.4%
Well,
to get into the
I
playoffs.
figure that iron sharpens iron. Texas has a schedule that is not for the faint of heart.
Yep.
And 6 games in, Texas is going to be a well-polished team. Like after that, you're in a lot of trouble. Get your bills paid, get your insurance up because kill shots are being made.
Well, Texas has the 4th rated tough schedule. And the reason why Texas's schedule is considered one of the top 4 toughest is because of the road games that Texas is going to have. They open the season out at Ohio State, 11 a.m. game in Columbus. Then they play at home 3 games, but then they're on the road at Florida. They play in the Red River Shootout, and I know it's called the rivalry, but I don't want to sound like Elmer Fudd. That'll be in Dallas. They go to Kentucky. They go to Mississippi State, home against Vanderbilt, at Georgia, and then finish the last 2 games of the regular season against Arkansas and Texas A&M. So their schedule, to your point, is pretty much the same as last year, except for last year it was a lot of home games. Now you're going to be on the road for the majority of these games. And let me just say this. When you sit back and you think about this Texas football team and going back to the fact that they went back-to-back seasons into the playoffs, they have to be ready to go, and that's why this summer is going to be so important for them.
And it's going to be the revenge tour for the SEC. All those teams that Texas put it on them last year, they're going to have to contend with them again.
Yeah.
And every year for that matter, but they'll do it at home. And, you're at home, you're going to be ready.
Now, Texas beat Mississippi State at home 35-13. They beat the snot out of Oklahoma. Georgia beat Texas here at DKR, so that'll be another game. Texas barely won at Nashville, so they'll get them back at home, but they beat Florida 49-17, so they go there. Arkansas comes here. Kentucky, they beat 31-14, and Texas A&M, they beat 17-7 at Texas A&M. So it'll be interesting to see how this team formulates this season. But Mark, you thought yesterday when we were talking that Texas has a chance to go undefeated in the regular season.
I think they can. I think that it's going to come down to staying healthy and being able to run the ball the way that they intended on running the ball last year.
Yep.
But they had so many injuries in the running back room that they had to go to plan B, which plan B ended up being pretty good, guys.
Yeah.
Trey Wisner came out of that.
We learned a lot.
We learned a lot about this team under adversity. What is this team going to be like without it?
Well, this team is going.
The ceiling is higher.
I mean, think about it though. You've made a lot of changes, and we talked about it. You went 13-3 last year. Very experienced team. You had a 3-year starter at the quarterback position. You have Jahdae Barron in the secondary leading this squad. You had Alfred Collins and Vernon Broughton on the defensive line. You had a lot of leadership that is now being passed on, but that is what Coach Sark was working on. That was the development that they have been talking about how do you get these guys to buy into the program, number one, but number two, buy in and thrive in the program, taking that step up.
Well, I'm going to hit you with this. So did everybody else. Everybody else lost stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They lost position players that had played multiple years.
Mm-hmm.
Texas has their quarterback has been in the system for 2 years now. He just didn't start.
Right.
So it's not like you're rebuilding that quarterback. Your offensive line, you had plug and play guys. You had a guy that went high in the draft, in the top 10 in the draft, and the guy that came off the bench was just as good as him. So I feel that that's going to be more of the same as far as, the people that Coach Sark put into place. Is just the formulation of the ball that they're going to play. They brought in a portal wide receiver that they say is one of the best blockers in college.
Yeah.
They bring a tight end in. What is he? He's a big body, possession receiver, not a burner, and one of the best blockers in college football. That means you're going to try to run the ball.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that you bring in a guy that's a speedster with the intent on just, running the ball and having that guy block. But they have guys now that actually are tailor-made for that role. And I hate that Nye Black had to go because he did a good job, but they upgraded.
Yeah. Well, we're going to see what ends up happening because of the fact that when you go back and forth and you start to understand what this looks like, Texas is priming themselves for different situations to where you start to understand how good they can be. Because you talked about it and you continue to talk about the reload. When you start to reload and you continue to have those types of players that you providing depth to, it changes the whole perspective of the football team. And the one thing that I want to see for sure is the leadership mode of where Arch is, how he's going to obviously I know that the players are going to buy into what he's doing. He's been here, like you said, but being able to have that mindset of, hey, let's go.
Yeah,
let's go.
I could have did my take today on what the running back room is going to bring because you have backs to back. He's an unbelievable talent, going to be an NFL quarterback.
Yep.
Clark, he's back. Baby Rhino. But Trey Wisner showed that he is a dominant force in the backfield. It's just hard for me to look at that room and not feel like Texas is going to dominate over the long haul.
And he's gotten bigger too, by the way. Trey Wisner's put on more weight because he understands what the job that is at hand. And, of course, you're getting more depth as well. Coming up next, you heard him, World's Strongest Take, brought to you by the World's Strongest Man, right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
The JB and Sandy Show podcast. Stream it on the iHeartRadio app.
We have a fresh wreck blocking the right lane. This is going to be on the Mopac southbound at Steck Avenue. 15-minute delay. Stop and go traffic now back to Duval Road. Accident reported on TX 130 toll right there at FM 969, causing no delay there. I'm Alan Craig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
Hey, it's Hardball Hardge, and I'm just going to say it. My license plate is cooler than yours.
That's facts. And this is Mark Henry, the world's strongest man, king of strongman fame, and now the king of custom plates.
You ever see a license plate that's so clean, it makes you do a double take?
Like mine says USA WSM. Yours says XJ7BP3. What is that, a password?
That's why you roll up to myplates.com. Texas-made, full customized license plates that let you show off your style, your ride, and your swagger.
You can pick the color, the design, almost anything you want to say as long as it's legal. And it's not something your grandmother would say, hey, I'm going to have to wash your mouth out with soap.
So don't drive around with a blowing plate that says, I gave up. Go to myplates.com, use the promo code The Zone, all one word, The Zone, and get up to $55 in savings. MyPlates.com. Don't be bored.
It's time to warm up that scoreboard and get ready to bring home the win with Specs. Specs has you covered with lower prices on all your favorite fan fuel. From craft beer, rare spirits, and world-class wine to chips, dips, and gourmet finer foods. And with same-day delivery when you order online or through the app, Specs is your MVP for the biggest score of the game. At Specs, the fun starts here.
Here's to you, cheers to savings.
Friends, if you live in Austin, Bastrop, Georgetown, Killeen, or Lockhart, and you're tired of paying too much for car insurance, pick up the phone and call Fred Loya Insurance today. Insurance rates are constantly changing, which is why you need to call Fred Loya Insurance right now for a new and updated quote. Call now. Save money. It's that easy. Call Fred Loya Insurance at 1-800-444-4040. That's 1-800-444-4040 or visit fredloya.com. Remember, if you don't call, you don't save.
After 48 years, Factory Mattress is going out of business forever. Over $15 million worth of world-class mattress brands must be sold immediately. Up to 80% off at Austin and San Antonio's largest independent mattress retailer. Everything must go, right down to the bare walls. Tempur-Pedic, Sealy, and Stearns & Foster. No interest financing is still available. The Factory Mattress going out of business sale is happening now at all 14 locations. Don't miss it.
Hey, it's Mike Rohn. If I have a choice, I like to do business with companies that actually stand for something. That's why I switched from Verizon to Pure Talk. No offense to Verizon, I'm sure they stand for something. I just don't know what it is. Pure Talk, on the other hand, is a veteran-owned company that supports our military in a big way, and I appreciate that. Yeah, I also appreciate unlimited talk and text and plenty of data for half the cost of the big guys, and I do like being on America's most dependable 5G network for just $20 a month, but what I really appreciate is no contract, no cancellation fees, and Pure Talk's commitment to handle all their customer service in this country. I saw it for myself. I went to Georgia, I got a tour of their headquarters, I met their CEO, and I talked to the same customer service folks that you'll talk to when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Switch today and save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Pure Talk, a wireless company that actually stands for something.
From the ABA Heating and Cooling Weather Center, this is Zone Weather.
Early cloudy today, highs in the mid-90s, back to the mid-70s tonight, mid-90s for a high tomorrow.
This report is sponsored by Randall's. In a rush and don't have time to shop for groceries? Let Randall's do the shopping for you. Now at Randall's, get $30 off your first online order. With free pickup or delivery, you will always get the same great prices, deals, and rewards as in-store. Shop Randalls.com or in the app.
iHeartRadio's got you covered for the summer. Sail on with commercial-free weekends on Yacht Rock Radio. Roll down the windows for road trips with summer playlists like Summer Classics. Or just escape into a podcast. Your summer soundtrack is already in your pocket with the free iHeartRadio app. Find your next summer preset now.
iHeartRadio. The Round Rock Express play here. 1300 The Zone.
That beat is hitting like even better today. WWE Hall of Famer and the world's strongest man, D. Mark Henry, brings you his world's strongest take. Take it away, big fella.
Hard.
What's up?
You know what time it is?
What time is it?
It's time for the world's strongest take by the world's strongest. Marcus, back then they didn't know me. Now I'm hot. They're all on me. Guys, last night, we got something that I was not expecting. I'm going to be honest. I was thinking that was the game that the Indiana Pacers were going to step up. They were going to press the pedal to the metal, and they were going to get that game. And I was incredibly wrong. And there was a reason that I was wrong. And that reason is Jalen Williams. 40 points. 24 years old. Jalen is 6'5", 210, 215 pounds. Plays power forward. plays small forward, and plays 2 guard. He is a matchup nightmare. I mean, the guy's only 1 inch taller than me and is just destroying the people that try to defend him. And he was in his bag last night. He hit at least 4 bank shots, like layups high off the glass with English on it. I mean, he was an English major last night. And this is Jalen's first year making an all-star team. And he also was 3rd in the all-NBA balloting at his position. He and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander are going to be together for a minimum of 3 years before their contracts come up. I can see these 2 guys being the linchpins, if you will, for what Oklahoma City is. You know that their number 3 guy, Chet Holmgren, is not going anywhere. They're going to always try to keep him. He's a young guy too. This is a young group, a young nucleus of players. And we talked about his offensive prowess, but he also had 4 assists. He distributed his scoring as well. And 3 steals and a block shot. That is the kind of balance in a player that makes you a great team, not just a good team. Hardge, my take is this. Oklahoma City Thunder closes this out, this next game. And then we start thinking about next year. I think that they will run it back again. The team is deep. They're developing. They're getting better, and they're not losing anybody. What say you?
They're a talented basketball team. They're a young basketball team. But the one thing that we have to put into perspective is that when you're young and you've had success, a lot of times during the offseason, you like to enjoy it. So although they're going to be good, I don't think they can repeat as champion. I do believe that they're going to be in the running for it. I do believe that they can come back, and the year that they've had is undeniably one of the best ever. And what I mean by that, defensively, they're probably one of the best teams in NBA history when it comes to defenses. We talked about it before the show. The depth that they bring to the matchup every single time is top notch. There's nothing else like it. But you also have to understand, too, that there will be some guys that end up leaving. There will be some guys that will probably be poached from them. And the drive is this. Jalen Williams, he's becoming a superstar, household name. We're getting a chance to see him. That's why when people start to look at these championships and they're like, oh, it's going to be boring. No, it's not. It has not been boring, not one time. Every game has had their runs. Now we can talk about T.J. McConnell and what he looks like as a guy that has truly underachieved and overachieved, if that's possible, because he was a guy that had to go to the G League and come in. The coach that they have right now was a G League coach, and he coached Alex Caruso when Caruso was in the G League. So we're seeing the development of these guys, but the one thing that I continue to try to understand is how sustainable is this going to be?
Well, technically, when you talk about sustainability, they have everybody locked up to 28.
Right.
So they're going to have this team again the entire season of next year. And then you'll start the conversations about poaching and those players on the bench going other places.
Right.
Because Presti is not going to allow those guys to leave without him getting something in return.
Right.
And what he does with those draft picks from people leaving, he's going to turn those into other guys that are just like the ones that are leaving.
The last team, I believe, to win back-to-back championships was the Warriors. The Warriors, when they won 2017 and 2018, I believe they were the last team to go back-to-back. We thought that the Nuggets were going to be able to do it. They didn't do it.
Nope.
Obviously, Boston with a great record this past year, they didn't do it. That's why I think it's going to be hard to go back-to-back. But I do believe that they will be in the mix for the championship. But you know as well as I do, partying too hard during the offseason just kind of keeps you at that point.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander don't strike me as that guy. I think with his
a lot of people don't
leadership
strike you as that until you win a championship and everybody's partying with you.
That's true. We did see Brady almost drop the trophy in the Boston Harbor.
And he works hard. You know what I'm saying? You know,
tolerance was low.
Yes. So you start to look at these moments and you're like, okay, it can happen.
I guess I can go with that.
It can happen. But you do want to understand that they have a lot of opportunities there to win those championships. And again, we got a chance to see how good Shai Gilgeous is. Jay Will is getting the burn that he loves. Chet Holmgren, Dort, all the guys that you like, they've been playing well enough that they're going to get some burn. Another great take by the world's strongest man. When we come back, we'll close out the show and send you to Dan Patrick. We'll also talk Texas news in the portal. Baseball is making news, and we have some elimination games in the College World Series right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Text Texas, followed by your message to 81530 to chat along with your favorite sports radio, AM 1300, The Zone hosts. That's Texas, followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center, Odoo.com, the only business software you'll need.
We have a fresh wreck blocking the right lane. This is going to be on the Mopac southbound at Steck Avenue. 15-minute delay. Stop and go traffic now back to Duval Road. Accident reported on TX 130 toll right there at FM 969, causing no delay there. I'm Alan Craig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Abacus Plumbing, Air Conditioning, and Electrical in 20628.
Electrical problems are a warning. Flickering lights, warm switches, bulbs burning out too soon all need attention. I trust Abacus licensed electricians. Their years of experience make an electrical problem no problem. No wonder they say Abacus. You can count on us.
Hey, it's JB and Sandy for our friends at Koala Cooling. Scott and Stacy, you know, the same great people behind Kangaroo that I've been telling you about for a while. They are the same people that own Koala Cooling and Plumbing. They're great people to know, and they're really great to know if you've got AC problems.
When I do big decisions like this, I like to know the owners.
Yeah.
I've met Scott and Stacy, great people. You do not want to get caught with your pants down in Texas with a broken air conditioner. The way to prevent that, even if your AC is working fine right now, is to set up a service plan, have them come check it, and it may end up saving you a bunch of money. If you're unfortunately in the need of help right now, call them immediately to get you cooled off again, because it's only going to get worse in the next few months.
And don't forget about plumbing. If you've been putting off a repair for a leaky faucet or a clogged drain, Koala can help you out with that too. Contact them at koalacooling.com or call 512-759-8800.
If you're in the market for a wood fence for your home or business, Viking Fence is the right choice for you. Viking Fence has been in business for over 50 years and takes pride in being the most reliable fence company in Central Texas. Viking Fence does gorgeous work, from simple privacy fences to custom projects. Their quality is unmatched. Viking is the only fence company with their own facility where they custom cut red cedar, the most durable and attractive of fence materials, and offer 3 grades of fence pickets, one for every budget. Compare their lumber against the big box stores. And there is no comparison on quality and price. So whether Viking installs your fence or you're doing it yourself, Viking Fence will ensure your satisfaction. excellent work, great service, and an honest reputation. Call Viking Fence today at 837-6411 for a free estimate or visit their wood fence galleries at vikingfence.com. When you think fence, think Viking.
Today doesn't have to suck. Break through your day-to-day boredom by downloading Call of Duty Mobile for free and enjoy fun gameplay featuring fan-favorite Call of Duty maps, modes, and operators, plus tons of new mobile content anywhere, anytime. Available on both the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. Download for free now. Rated M.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 Pro on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16 Pro. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Hand sanitizer. It's lavender.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check this pocket. Oh, mints?
Really, I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins. I'm a mom. Wait one sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
It's our best iPhone offer ever. Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line $100 plus a month on experience beyond finance agreement $999.99 and qualifying ported. For well qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Pay off via virtual prepaid card. Allow 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
And Doug. Here we have the Limu Emu in its natural habitat, helping people customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Fascinating. It's accompanied by his natural ally, Doug.
Limu, is that guy with the binoculars watching us?
Cut the camera. They see us.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for competitive prices on all your home improvement projects. If you find a qualifying lower price somewhere else on the same item, we'll match it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Price match applies the same item, current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at lowes.com/lowest price guarantee.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, your home for the Horns.
If you missed any part of the show, get over to our podcast page, wherever you get your podcast. Type in The Morning Kickoff, or as we've talked about before, make sure that you have us as your presets, as always. We got into a lot of conversations today. We talked about Texas baseball. We talked College World Series. We also got into the point of the Texas Longhorn football team, and their recruitment, and they've been going after some guys. So Texas continues to make moves. One of the things I didn't get a chance to talk about is I wanted to make sure that we mentioned Shohei Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani made his return on the mound yesterday. He threw 13 pitches, 98 miles per hour. He topped out at 100 miles an hour. He's the first player to start a game as a pitcher and bat leadoff since 1953, and he was the third player to do it overall to start on the mound and bat leadoff. It was the first time he pitched in 22 months, and he only gave up 1 run, 2 hits, but Shohei Ohtani continues to marvel a lot of people at the things that he's able to do. We also wanted to talk a little bit about the transfer portal for Texas baseball. Texas got a new pitcher in the transfer portal, as they got one from Mississippi State, and the moves are being made all around. Coach Schlossnagle is doing everything he can possibly do to make sure that this team continues to get better. Luke Dotson is his name, left-handed pitcher, hard-throwing pitcher that is a sophomore. He'll be transferring on the 40 acres. They've also made some moves for some position players as well. So they're not stopping. Let's just say that. They're not stopping when it comes to making moves on the baseball diamond. No basketball tonight, but Mark did his take on the up-and-coming OKC Thunder, which I believe will win the championship. Tyrese Halliburton is still on that missing milk carton, but we saw him in plain sight, and he still wasn't able to do anything. The rumors about KD are still out there. A lot of people are saying that KD may not, the Suns may not trade him to his desired places. I think a lot of that has to do with what's going to be available. The draft is next week, so we will know more as we get closer and closer to the draft. And we are not too far away from SEC Media Days from Atlanta, and that means that we're getting closer and closer to football season as well. So, Mark, as you look at everything that's going on in sports, just like my man Kev said about Texas State possibly joining the Pac-12, there's a lot going on in sports, and this is normally a quiet time when you sit back and you think about it.
It's normally a quiet time, but Hardge, everybody is dying to prepare for next season in all sports, not just baseball, not just football, not even our basketball. Everybody's recruiting, trying to get the lineups that they want. And what does it take?
Yep.
Money and hard-ass work. And these coaches have been putting the hard work in. Now it's about, can we acquire enough financial support to get our teams the way that we want them?
Right.
I mean, not many teams have the ability to throw $1.5 million at a softball player. They don't have that. I mean, let's be honest.
Yep.
There's not many teams, not even the top 50 teams are always willing to do that. So that being said, what do you expect Texas State to do?
I expect them to make some moves and try to do everything they possibly can to be able to compete. I mean, they're not in a position as of yet to be able to do that, but if they can find the financial means to get into the Pac-12, it changes the whole narrative. They've got to make sure that they get their TV rights and everything else that goes on with that, but they're positioning themselves to be, they're not going to be, I'm not going to put them as a major player in any of it yet.
Right.
There's a process to all of this, but they're making all the upgrades that they need to make at the football stadium, which is long overdue. They're doing things on the campus. Enrollment has gone through the roof because of, again, if your football team is successful, people are going to want to go to the school, and they're not going to be recognized as just a party school.
Right.
They're doing things to move in the right direction. But being in the Pac-12, that's a lot of travel, and the cost is not going to be the same because you got to pay for all those flights. You got to pay for lodging. You got to, I mean, baseball is, think about what, we talked about this. Think about what Stanford is having to do from flying from Palo Alto to the East Coast. That's ridiculous. And we're just talking football, which is once a week.
Right.
Think about all the intermediate sports that everybody's having to play. Think about Oregon going to the Pac-10. Now, Oregon's a bad example because they got all the money they could ever want from Phil Knight. But that's a lot of wear and tear on your student athletes, the ones that they keep saying, oh, they're here for school. I think we're past that now.
Oh, we're well past it.
I think we're past that now. There's so much that is going on within athletics that there has to be something put in place that, even with the realignment, we thought it was cool, you know, obviously because Texas is going to the SEC, but they're not traveling that far. The SEC is where it's always been. Now you're creating all these other major conferences that is having to drive one team to another. The Southland is not the Southland. The Sun Belt is not the Sun Belt anymore. There's a lot of changes that are happening, and there's a lot of moving pieces. Now, I'm glad that the kids get a chance to make some money. I'm glad that all these things are happening. But there is a time where we have to put some guardrails on this thing because it is definitely out of control.
Yeah, I've been saying that since the beginning. Like, just set a standard. Just say this is what the limit is, and we're going to leave it at that. And then it'll fix everything.
Free market, I guess, right? That's what it is, free market. So we'll see what's happening out there in the free market. Another great show. I want to thank Kev Chardello for joining us, talking all things Texas State. I want to thank our guy Joe Cook of Inside Texas. Tomorrow, we'll have Danny Davis of the Austin American Statesman and so much more. For Marcus, for Mark Henry, I'm Hardball Hardge, and just remember this, don't believe everything you see, because even salt looks like sugar. Peace. Summertime is officially here, y'all. Time for those road trips, lake days, and family adventures. And your neighbors at Covert Ford Hutto